Good evening, everybody. It's great to be back in New York, and I've missed seeing your shining faces. But I have watched all the games, and I'm fully up to date with my team. So, any questions, please?
Please raise your hands. Wait for the microphone. We'll try to get to as many questions as possible. Please raise your hand. Be direct, so we can get as many as possible. Sarah, why don't you start?
Mr. Prokhorov, we've missed your smiling face as well. What is your assessment of how this season has gone?
So I saw the potential of our team and capability of playing at the first rate level. I think for the last months we have seen how the team could play if everyone pulls together. We have had issues of consistency, and I think it's a part of function of a new coach, new players, and some injuries. And my hope for the time being that we have a capability of playing on a high level, and of course our team has the talent. And I'm sure we have interesting moment in the play of my team. That's like a triple overtime with the Bucks and with Joe Cool's hand on pressure. So I think Brooks finished with Knicks. Also, I think a great home win with Warriors and with Cavaliers. So I think that young players like Thaddeus Young and Mikhail Prokhorov, they're bringing like speed, power, some emotions for us. And Bojan Bogdanovic, he is making his way in the NBA. So,
Mikhail, what is the status of the sale or potential sale of this team at this point?
No, I was never intended to sell the team, and we have looked at selling only the minority stake. And for the time being, there is nothing on the table. And that's the situation for the time being.
Mr. Prokhorov, you beat me to the punch a little bit. There was a perception of this team before the All-Star break that it was getting old and it wasn't athletic enough. Since then, the trade for Thaddeus, you mentioned Markel, you mentioned Bojan. How do you like the prospects of this team going forward in the next couple of years with the added youth?
My goal is the same, and I'm very committed to the team. I'll do my best in order just to find the opportunity to reach our common goal. You know that if you analyze a championship team, 20% is draft picks and 80% trades. So now we have young talent, and I'm sure our front office is good enough and have a great eye to find some talents in order to improve our team if we need this.
Prokhorov, you obviously had higher hopes for your 5-year plan. If you had a chance to do it over again, what would you have done, if anything, what would you have done differently?
It's a very philosophical question. I was asked a lot of questions like this in many other businesses. If you regret of paying high salary tax and all cases like this. So why we like sport? I'm very committed to the team. I'll continue to do and to find all the best I can get to the team. But why we love sport? That is unpredictable. And any kind of sport unpredictable, in particular basketball. But as Robbie Williams says, no regrets, they don't work.
There's been a lot of talk that you guys aren't willing to pay luxury tax next season, probably because of the repeater tax. You in the past have been willing to spend as much money as it took. Is that something that's going to change, at least in the short term, or are you still willing to go over the tax and spend what you need to next season?
Just we need a championship team, and I'm very committed to continue to do all the best for the team. This is my perception, and if we need to pay a little bit more than any other teams, it's not an obstacle for us.
Andy, then Boone, then
The last time you were here, you said you intended to come to 25% of the games, but it hasn't worked out that way. Just why not?
Maybe you have heard, like we have some volatile years in Russian economy and in Russian business. So we have sanctions were imposed, and these sanctions they have created some fresh opportunities and some challenges for businessmen in Russia, and I needed to be more hands-off in managing my business and my assets. So I was very busy. Now everything is under control. That's why I hope to see you more on the playoffs.
With Billy King, well, how would you assess his job, what he's done so far, and are you confident that he'll be able to build the team you're looking for the next couple of years here? And also, what is his contract at, beyond this year? So you have the contract another couple of years here.
I like his ability to be bold, and I think he has done some unexpected deals and have the first list like maybe a little bit dramatic, but I'm very comfortable with working with him, and his contract is not expired.
I know you said you talked about maybe listening to a minority share. Has anyone talked to you about they would like to buy the whole team? And is there a number in your head maybe that how much you think you could get for the Nets, be it minority or for the full share?
I was never intended to sell the team. That's why if any proposal touched us, but they were not serious. But if somebody wants to send me any kind of proposal, why not? Just to have a look. But we're speaking only about minority stake in the team.
You touched on it a little bit, but how is this year more difficult than the other years of owning this team, given the sanctions and the political turmoil between the two countries?
I think the relation between our two countries is not the best for the time being, and the basic problem, I think, is the lack of economic relation between the United States and Russia. But from what I feel and from what I know, we have a lot of common. We're like big countries with great history, with great influence in the world, and maybe on that stage we need to be more focused on cultural relation, because like peoples, they need to know each other more, and I am rather optimistic that in the year's future our politicians will change their minds also.
Prokhorov, we've seen a resurgence in Brook Lopez the second half of the season. Is it in your best interest to keep him after the season?
Excuse me, a little bit louder, please.
Big emergence from Brook Lopez in the second half of the season. Is it in your interest to keep him past the season?
Brook is very important for us, and Lionel told you maybe 20 times that we do want him back, and it's up to Brook to decide. We need him. I think Brooklyn Nets is his home.
Mikhail, you said a couple times you're not interested in selling a majority stake of the team, but the minority share of the franchise at 20% has been on the market for a while. Has there been any discussions on your part to buy either that 20% or the other half of the arena that you don't own at this point?
So I think there are several possibilities. One of them, you can ask my partner, Bruce Ratner. It's up to him to decide. Or we can sell, for example, 49% to give to somebody else. But for the time being, nothing on the table. And as soon as we have any changes in capital structure, we'll announce it in a very open way as we usually work with it.
Is there any chance that you would have to incorporate over in Russia? I know that some laws changed about foreign assets over there. Is there any chance that you would have to do that with the Nets?
Nothing is in progress for the time being.
This is still the highest paid team in the league, and just a couple weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, they were in 11th place in the East and 13 games under 500. What goes through your mind when you see that?
I like much more what I see for the last 3 weeks.
Was that frustrating? Were you upset?
You need to be cool from time to time because, you know, like Lionel, he's demanding. He has brought some kind of special attention to the job. And of course, it takes some time in order to adjust for the players to his vision. But now we see that we are fighting for the playoffs, and we are on the top. We are on the rise, so we need to continue to play on the level. So it works.
Were you ever close at all to making a change, not just with the coach, but in the front office or anything like that as the team struggled?
You know, I think season is not over yet. I think as soon as we met after the season, I hope we'll get up maximum. We can do. We can speak about this. For the time being, everything is stable.
You've had 4 head coaches since you guys have been over here in Brooklyn now. With Lionel Hollins, what do you like most about what he's been able to bring to this franchise in his first year here?
I like his stuff. He's tough and he is demanding. For example, we have like a discussion about Andrew Kirilenko. But like he's a great player, he's the best Russian player in the history. But unfortunately, Andrew he didn't fit into the vision, and I was needed to defer to head coach opinion and GM opinion. So like he's tough, he has his own system, and I respect his approach to basketball.
You mentioned that you've been looking at minority stakes, possibly to take part of the team. About how many people have actually come to you with a proposal to say they're interested in the minority stake, and have they ever gotten close enough to that you thought maybe a deal was possible?
I think approximately we have like 10 approaches.
Is there anything that you were close and you went to finding a deal?
Just, I think I'm not involved in the day-to-day routine. As soon as we have any kind of proposal and we were close to fix it, you will be the first to know. You first to know. Just because it's your question.
Mr. Prokhorov, how encouraged are you by the Forbes latest assessment of what the value of this franchise is now, and as opposed to what the price tag that you paid for it 5 years ago to what the value of it is right now? And does that make you encouraged to say, okay, I'm going to stick with this because it's going to make me money?
Like for the time being, I like the number, but I think it's a waste of time to discuss non-existent deal.
2 more questions.
Mikhail, there was a report that you had lost, I think, $144 million in basketball-related business last season. Just curious, how much money have you lost since you've bought this team, and how has that affected the way you've done business
Like,
as a result?
If it's true about 3 billion, what do you mean by lost? But if it's 3 billion now, it's not lost, it's just investment.
When you were paying 197 million, whatever was in payroll lucky taxes, you're cutting.
You like to count other people's money. You're happy. Yes.
Mikhail, have you met Thaddeus yet, and what was your impression? Did you say anything to him if you did meet Thaddeus?
No, unfortunately, just I stay all the time in Moscow, but I think maybe during this trip I will have a chance.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much for coming, and I want to take this opportunity just because tomorrow is the birthday of Bob Weinram, and who runs the Nets Daily, and I want to take this opportunity just to wish him very happy birthday. Thank you very much.
You know, it was a hard-fought game. It was a good game. We started off poorly, but we battled back. You know, they came out and gave us a good punch, but we kept battling, and you know, we were down in the third and fourth quarter, but we kept battling. And next thing you know, we brought ourselves all the way back. You know, we had the lead. They made a couple of plays at the end. Corbett coming off. You know, we probably should have stayed home. Either he was going to shoot it and make it, or miss it. We were going to get the rebound and win the game. But we came out, gave up a layup, and then We had our chances. Brook was at the basket on a couple offensive rebounds and didn't get them. And finally, he got it, threw it back out, and first ball came out to Jarrett in the corner, and he had a three, he missed it. And then the ball went back out to the top to Bogey, and he had a three, and missed it. And then at the end, I thought Joe shot, from my angle, I mean, it was right on top of the rim. Just didn't go in. So, you know, hopefully we learn that we can play against this team with the collective effort that it takes offensively and defensively.
And you mentioned it, but like you got the type of looks that you would have wanted in those last couple possessions there.
They're wide open shots, both of them. I mean, you know, however we got them, and we just couldn't make them. Joe's shot was, you know, was obviously a little tougher, but you know, he got a good look at it, and that's what you have to do at the end of the game. You know, you want to get a look, and he got one, and he just didn't make it.
How about that charge on Thaddeus?
It was a charge. I mean, I had no problem.
Okay, how much did that change? Because then he fouled out later too. How much did that change?
It didn't change anything. I mean, it was just one foul. The foul later on, that fouled him out of the game. It probably was a foul too, but you know, you just have to play. And whether he had been in the game at the end, I don't know what would have been different on offense. You know, I think he was in the game. No, on the rebounds before he was in the game, but we didn't score. We had 3 chances at the basket, and we didn't score on a chip-ins, but that's basketball.
Lionel, that pick and roll where Horford got lost underneath the basket, and I think there was 2 guys guarding the guard. Brook was out there. I was just wondering if is that where Brook is supposed to be on that pick and roll D?
What pick and roll are you talking about?
I think it was the last bucket by Horford where he got
lost. It
lost.
wasn't a pick and roll.
Wasn't okay.
He came off the screen, and Deron was trailing, and Brook ran out there and left him at the basket. So no, he wasn't supposed to be out there, but you know, I can understand where he's coming from in that situation. Guy's wide open, and he has the ball. I need to go stop him, but the guard kept coming as well, and left Horford at the basket.
You mentioned how you think that this is the kind of effort that can show your guys that can compete with these guys on both ends of the floor. After Saturday and the first couple games of the season, did you need an effort like that against these guys? In case you played a couple in a week or so?
We just didn't need to get blown out, period. I mean, whether we played them, that wasn't about that. It was like we have to go out and compete against this team because we needed to win in order to keep our position in the playoffs. I mean, that was more important about it. But I said after the game, hopefully we learn what type of effort collectively we need in order to play against this team.
And on that play, I know they ran that pin down for Kyle, got him open, that's where Brook went. When they have that kind of guy coming off screens and can get open, is that what makes them so difficult to guard in those situations?
Well, obviously, yes, because you got a guy that can make a shot and everybody's worried about him when he's open. They have a lot of guys there. I mean, they were 11 for 28 from the three-point line, and when you look at it, that and the fact that we gave them 23 points on turnovers, which most of those were layups, and some of the layups in the pick and roll game that we gave up. When you take some of that away, we win the game, but you know, we didn't.
Before the game, Mikhail Prokhorov had some praise for you and your style, and he talked about some of the things he talked about with you about Karolinko. Was it good? Is that good to hear him praising you, and is it good to see him there?
Well, you always like the people that you work for to like you and respect what you do. So yes, it's good.
Have you learned anything about him at all? Have you had enough contact with him?
He has a lot of money, and he lives in Russia, and he flies all around the world when he wants to. I mean, I haven't gotten to know him. There hasn't been time for me to get to know him, but you know, he seems like a stand-up guy, and we think a little bit alike. I guess that we think 100% alike, but you know, it's hard for me to think like him when he's got his, you know, lifestyle and I got mine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. You know, Kim Bazemore did a tremendous job covering ground and closing back out after he, you know, helped on Joe's penetration. And, you know, we had a number of good looks, you know, mine, a couple of tips we had around the basket, Bogey's 3 from up top, and, you know, Joe shot the heat, you know, gave a whirl with a couple seconds left, still, you know, gave us a chance as well. So, you know, we had a number of plays, but, you know, it shouldn't have came down to those possessions, we feel. could have had a couple more, stops coming down the stretch that I think would able to stretch the lead that we had.
This Atlanta team has had your number so far this season. What was different about tonight?
I think we just fought. We clawed back. They're a hell of a team. They move the basketball. They keep you honest. In a lot of different scenarios, and they defend. Tonight, they came out, hit us in the mouth early, but we just stayed with it. We fought, we clawed. And that's just resiliency we have. We want to make it to that goal that we set for ourselves at the beginning of the season, which is, getting ourselves, consideration for postseason.
I guess at this stage of the season, coming close in a game like this is not good enough.
I mean, it's not, but you try to pull positives from everything. We're not into moral victories or anything like that, but our pick and roll coverage is something that's been plaguing us the past few games. I thought we stepped it up in that particular area. So, being that that's one of the most highly ranked plays with any team throughout the league, I think that's something that you can pull from this game, and we can move on to Friday.
Does the comeback give you added confidence as you move forward to Friday and beyond?
I mean, you mean personally?
As a team.
Oh, okay. I think so. I think we feel, and we've shown we can play with anybody on any given night. We've done it sporadically, done it in spurts. For us, we just got to continue to do it, 48 minutes at a time. And I thought we've done that over these last, 2-3 weeks. Really establishing ourselves, brand the ball that we're going to play. And for us, it's just coming in, moving on to Friday.
And talk about Friday night's challenge against Washington.
First and foremost, John Wall. He does a good job running their ball club, setting the tempo for them, also getting everybody involved. So, trying to neutralize his speed in the open court is the number one thing for us. And then, just coming out hitting first.
All the way back and just come up just a little bit short.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one for us. We did battle back and had control of the game, but didn't get a stop down the stretch, and it's kind of a ball game.
What happened on that play when Horford got the dunk there to put him up there?
They just ran Kyle Korver off a couple screens. It was a little late, getting out there. And I think Brook saw it and kind of jumped out. And when he did, I think that was pretty much the design of the play was for us to help, and he just whipped it down there at Horford.
At this stage of the season, a big comeback against a team like this, that's not good enough, is it?
No, it's not really a moral victory, I think, in that sense. I guess it is good because we pretty much got blown out by him every game before this one. But, it's a game we definitely wanted, and it's a little disappointing how we started the game, I think. But we did finish well, and we had our chances.
Deron, if you do get these guys, did you need a game like this against them after the way the first couple have gone?
I think so. I think we needed to be competitive against them, and I thought we were tonight. We still didn't play very well. A lot of turnovers. I had a lot of turnovers. We're still trying to figure out how to play them, I think.
How far do you guys have to go defensively? You did some things tonight to get to that level. Where
they had 120 points. Yeah. It's a lot to give up. So it wasn't a great defensive effort tonight. But we did do some things offensively. We did do some things defensively in stretches, but not consistently.
Was that the difference in that stretch in the fourth quarter when you guys came back? Was it defense?
Yeah, we were getting some stops. We were getting and we were rebounding. A lot of the early scores were on offensive rebounds and those 50-50 balls where we don't get them.
We talk about the home court advantage you guys are trying to build here. What about when Joe hit that shot? How loud did the crowd was at that point?
It was super loud. It definitely was. I thought the crowd was great tonight. They were in the game, from the start.
Thank you.
So, obviously the playoffs are a lot different. It's not a lot of free flowing, every possession counts. So, we'll see what happens.
Maybe you answered this, but how did you feel in that last shot that could have tied the game?
I thought it was on line. Not necessarily a great shot, but that's it was the best shot available for us.
So you guys have battled back all game. When you hit that shot that put you guys finally put you guys in the lead, that point the crowd's kind of loud. What's going through your mind at that point when you guys kind of only got the first lead at the end there?
We got to get a stop. We can't get a stop, man. Each and every game we played this team, they basically shot lights out. This Carroll, Korver, T, Al, Millsap. They just, they keep coming at you in waves, and we just gotta keep fighting.
Is this thing a little more because you came back and had the lead so deep into the game?
No, like I was saying earlier, it doesn't matter if you lose by 25 or 3. They're all tough, and obviously we're here at home. We want to get this win. Knowing that what we're facing coming down the stretch. So it's a tough loss, but we got to move on.
Thank you.
Dr. Dunk.
I thought I saw a lot of separation when Corver was coming off the pin down, and I probably definitely should have stunned it, but I played it quick in my head, and I just figured the way Corver shoots the ball, I'd rather get it out of there and hope for something on the weak side to get him 2 instead of 3. And just go down the other way, and make it a little easier on us in that regard. Definitely made me think about that one a lot tonight, dreaming about that.
Just to almost focusing too much, thinking Corver would shoot and cheating too much on that, or?
Like I said, I definitely figured if he came off and shot, that's like a layup for him. So, it was just weighing in my mind as quickly as it went.
But what are the range of emotions like in this game? You guys trail the entire game for the most part. You get up, you're up there, you just can't find a way to close it out.
Yeah, there's that one possession where I missed 3 or 4 tip-ins in a row, and then Thad missed his. It was tough. We had lots of good looks, and we did a pretty good job stopping it for the most part during that run and closing the game out. Just when defensive breakdown cost us.
But before the game, the owner said he wants you back and said that Brooklyn is where you belong. Is that good to hear?
It is. I think we're all confident in each other, playing well. We like playing with each other, and I like being here. No question. I've always said that. Thank you.